Welcome to the podcast that is number 1 on your drunk dial list. Hashtag just saying. 50th episode happening right now.
Woo!
50. So excited.
1 year anniversary for this guy right here.
For that guy over there. Mine was in July. But it's okay. It's okay. Crack, smoke if you got him. I don't know.
Woo! Cheers.
So, you guys.
We've got stories.
There's so much.
We're
gonna it's so I've been thinking of this show all week.
Me too.
Because there's so much to discuss.
Yes.
So Sunday, Sean and I, along with our friends Joe and his fiance Sam. Is it fiance for men?
I think it's fiance for both.
Is it? I thought that was a different word. I don't know about things in life. I don't know about things in life. That's all I know.
They're engaged.
Yes.
So they're fiancés. They're not
husbands. They're fiancés. Betrothed.
They're not husband. They're not wife. No wifey, no hubby. Not yet.
Betrothed. Anyway, so we all went to the Rhode Island Comic Con.
Yeah, we did.
Do we want to start out talking about the Comic Con, or do we have other things to discuss? Because I know once we open the can of red-faced hornets for the Rhode Island Comic Con, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be
stinging.
It. So I don't want to just.
Oh, my agenda here. I have
your agenda. Sean has an agenda.
2 shout-outs for us that we could do.
What's the shout-out?
One's to a Shalita Burke, who is now following our show recently.
Oh, okay.
So hi, Shalita, and thank you.
What's up?
I hope you enjoyed the show and all to come.
Twitter love. Oh, you know what? I got. You guys. I talked about my one of my favorites, Hugh Laurie, has a show on Hulu called Chance. And I talked about how it's a good show. It's very compelling, but it's not something that you can just float in and out. You have to pay attention when you have all your abilities to concentrate, because there's a lot of things happening, and I'm still very confused about what's happening. But it's a really good show, and recently they followed us on Twitter. And I thought that was really cool. So,
well, hello and thank you, and hope you enjoy the show.
I will plug the show again. It's Chance on Hulu, starring Hugh Laurie and Ethan Suplee, the only actors from it that I know. Not personally, but they're the only actors that I know of.
You wish. You'd like to know them personally.
Would I?
Well, especially Hugh.
Hugh, I don't. You know what? I feel like Hugh's one of those people that'd be cool to meet, but I don't think he and I have a lot of common threads. So what we would talk about, I don't know.
I'm sure you'll find something.
You know that? You know those things where you go to and you meet somebody or whatever, and it's like you just have no common
thread
ground, and it's like I feel like that I'd be that way with Hugh Laurie. I feel like beyond I enjoy your work and blah blah blah, what we would talk about.
Oh, maybe someday you get an opportunity to meet him, and you find out then.
I don't know. If I could get over my social anxiety, I would be happy to meet you, Lori. What I'd say, I don't know. But anyway.
Find out if it happens.
Yeah, well, that'd be something to record, wouldn't it?
Yes. Especially if we had him as a guest.
Yeah, well, that'd be funny. You know what my beef is? I wish he would use... In everything that he's done recently, he's used an American accent, and I wish he would just be British again. He's British. I want him to use his real voice.
He loves that Britain accent.
I do. We'll crack that egg open later. So
making omelets.
Yep. So what else is on the agenda? Oh, we got a lot of Instagram love over on the Instagram page. I posted. We didn't get to take a lot of pics at the Comic Con. There was just there was a lot going on, and we'll get into that in a minute, I promise. But
Neil.
Oh right, yeah, okay. Okay. So but so what I did have I posted up, and people seemed to be enjoying it. So if you are listening, if you're listening to the show because of what I teased on Instagram, welcome, and we'll get there. We'll get there. Hang in there. We'll get there. Sean, I promise Sean I'd tell this story. I went into the break room at work. It's not even really a break room. It's a very small room. It's a very small room with a microwave and a fridge.
Yep. So there's one right next to my desk. So
I went in the quote unquote break room, and there was a young lady in there, and she had brought her super fucking chopper mixer thing.
Damn.
From home. It's huge. And she's like a short lady, so like she was carrying it like this, like she had to like bear hug it. So she's carrying it. And I said, "What are you doing?" And she like puts it on the counter and she's throwing in all this shit. I'm like, "What are you doing? Are you opening up like a smoothie shop?" And she goes, "No, I'm doing a juicing thing." And she's like, "I've already lost like 5 pounds this week." And then she's like, "Tara, it's good if you want the recipes and stuff." And I'm like, "All right, well, what is in the thing that you're doing now?" She goes, "Oh, spinach, kale. And I put a little apple in there just for flavor." And I'm like, "You lost me at kale." Like, what the fuck? I don't want anything to know. And it looks green and lumpy. It just looks nasty. So this guy at work who just makes me crack up. His name is Neil, and he's kind of an older guy.
I think we mentioned him before in the past.
I probably have, because he just makes me laugh. So he walks in.
But his eyebrows being like stickers.
And he walks in, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm making this mix. I'm juicing. I'm on the juicing diet." And he's like, "Oh." And he goes, "I have a lovely mixer at home my wife won't let me touch." And I said, "How come she won't let you touch it, Neil?" And he goes, "Well, she's a professional French chef."
Oui, oui.
He goes, "So she makes all this delicious food, and I would love to go on a juicing diet, but she would just get offended and angry at me." And I said, "You don't look fat, Neil." And he's like, "That's because you haven't seen me try to tie my shoes." And I said, "That's true, but you don't look fat." And he's like, "I'm not happy." He's like, "But what do you say to your wife to tell her to stop making delicious food? How do I put that?" And I said, "There's really no way you can." I was like, "You're just going to be fat." And he's like, "Yeah, it sucks." So he was just he's too funny. Poor Neil. Having to enjoy all that nice French cuisine.
Oui, oui.
Neil. Speaking of work.
Boo!
Yeah, well, so I was in my cubicle today, and I had to call my supervisor over. And not only did I promise her and a couple of coworkers that I was going to tell this story, I'm actually going to use their names. They begged me not to.
Actually,
I'm going to use their names. They begged me. They're like, "Please, you can't even use it." "Oh, yeah, Jen, I'm using your name." So Jen comes over to my cubicle, and she's helping me with what I need help with, because I had a clusterfuck day. Everything that I touched turned into, just brittle shit. It just crumbled right in my hand. So she comes over to my desk, and she helps me with what she needs to help me with. And there's this pregnant lady, and her name is Shonda, right? So Shonda has grandkids, and she's pregnant again. She just had a baby 2 years ago. And I said, I didn't even know she was pregnant because she's not really showing, really yet. So someone said something to her and was like, "Oh, is that how pregnant people should be?" And I was like, "Oh, you're pregnant again?" I was like, "Don't you have 12 grandkids? What's going on with you?" And she goes, "Yeah, And then she goes, that one was a surprise. This one is a shock. And I was like, and I was in my head, I was like, you should totally name them that. Surprise and shock. That'd be hilarious.
What's the next one?
And then she goes, well, I don't know. I think she better just stop. So Jen says something to her and goes, well, you could always say no. And then she looks at her, I promise you, looks at her and goes, nope, the D's too good. I was like, okay. Like, here's the thing. I have no problem talking like that, and I will talk like that. I don't care, like, outside of work. I don't talk like that at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she talked to me outside at my car, the D's too good, I'd laugh. Be like, yeah, I understand, girl. Hey, high five it. So, so she says that, and I'm like, I can't even today. I can't even with you people. So she walks away, and then her and Jen and this other lady, Myra, who has a juicer, she's got a bear hug, all get in a huddle, and they're like doing these weird, perverted things.
Woo!
And then, so Jen comes back to me because I'm like, I need you to help me finish this. So she comes back to help me with what I need help with. And then Myra comes over, and I said, I'm totally going to talk about this in my podcast tonight. And they were mortified. They're like, no! Like, oh yeah. So then, she said something. There was a little old lady who used to work there. She got laid off like a year or so ago, maybe more. And her name was Elaine. She said, Tara, I had a conversation with Elaine once before she left. She's like, that would have just made you cry. And I said, what did Elaine say? She goes, oh, she started talking to me about anal beads. And I was mortified at that point. Because this is a little old woman. And I'm like, no, she's like a nana. She can't fucking she can't walk around talking about anal beads. She's a nana. That's disgusting. I was disgusted. So I went on Facebook and I posted on Jen's page this little cat with earmuffs. And it says, this was me at my fucking cubicle all day. No! Like, I can't handle it anymore.
I was going to say something about that, but I'll wait till you're done drinking.
What?
She's talking about anal beads, but
yeah.
They do have granny porn out there.
Oh, please don't! Don't! I can't today. I can't do it. I was absolutely mortified and disgusted. I'm like,
porn!
She's, well, I'll talk. I have no problem with that kind of talk. It's just at work. I don't talk like that. I have to, like...
From what you told me, you don't talk much at all at work.
No, well, that's because I don't want them to know how disturbed I am.
I thought you said the less you talk, the happier your day is.
Well, no, I don't want people to, know disturbing things about me. Not as if I'm a disturbed person. You know what? I don't want people to have ammunition to use against me. And I guarantee if any of them listen to this podcast from start to finish, they would have a shit ton of ammunition to use against me.
Yep. It's all there.
Yep.
Free to listen to.
I tell you guys the truth.
Free to subscribe.
What I tell you guys, it's... We tell you the truth. I'm not here to bullshit you. Why? Why would I? So do you... What else do you have? Because I don't want to get too lost talking about anal beads. I know. I should have saved that story.
I'll follow up on anal beads.
Granny anal beads. That makes it even more disturbing.
All right. Earlier in the week, I had an explosion at McDonald's near my house.
Oh.
I went up to the drive-thru.
Okay.
Rolled down my window. A guy, welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order? Yes.
No, I'm just
That's
passing
the job.
through. Passing through, so I thought I'd say hi.
So I said, I'll have a number 1, large with a Coke with extra cheese.
What is a number 1?
Big Mac meal.
Okay. Seems easy enough, Big Mac.
Yep. And I went up to the window.
Uh-huh.
And someone started giving me this medium-sized drink. I said, no,
Right.
it's supposed to be large. And then she looked at the screen and said, they put it for medium. Here's where it starts.
I said we should preface by saying that every time Sean goes to this place, they get everything wrong.
Yep, the one near my house.
So just so you guys don't think that he just exploded just on a one-off.
No.
This has been an ongoing situation.
Yeah, and all the other times I've held back and I went inside and said, look, I asked for extra cheese. There's no cheese, or there's one piece when there should be two. Quite a few shows ago, I talked about this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
There's my extra cheese. Like, it's the hardest thing for them to do. But
Can't let go of the cheese.
I told them it's supposed to be a large, and I said, let me guess, the fries are medium too? And I looked in the bag. Yep. And I gave it back, and I said, tell that guy right there, he's incompetent. I asked for a large. I clearly said into the speaker, I want number one, large with a Coke with extra cheese. You guys are handing me a medium. So I'm starting to get upset. Girl disappears. Next comes, this is just after 5 o'clock. So the manager that came on at 5 comes to the window.
Mm-hmm.
He says, how can I help you? I'm thinking to myself, oh, goody. You're in my line of fire, so.
This poor guy just punched in.
Yep.
And you're getting ready to punch him out.
I got to punch out his clock.
Oh, snap.
So I'm yelling at him about how incompetent his coworkers are. He's doing that bullshit the customer. Yep, you're absolutely right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, they don't mean that.
I told him that this happens every other time I come here.
Mm-hmm.
It's the closest one to my house, so I don't have a choice when I want it. Unless I'm driving home from work. Then I have an option because there's one in Hanover. As soon as I get off the highway, it's right there. So I'm yelling at him about how this happens every other time I come. I ask for something simple, and I say large clearly into a speaker, and you guys are handing me mediums. And I was just yelling at him, and he's telling me he'll have a talk with them, and I'm like, you better.
Holy shit.
I'm
Bitch,
tired
you
of
better.
this happening.
Oh, no.
And
Oh, dear.
I pointed to the number that's on the wall right next to the thing. I said, I've called that number before in this place. I'm ready to call it again.
I am not afraid to dial this again. That's what's happening.
And last time I called it is only because I didn't get the extra cheese again.
Oh, man.
And I told that person, which is the owner of that building, that they're incompetent and they should stay in school.
You need to stay in school.
Yeah.
The school system has failed you. Wow.
So what he does now this is the part that I'm enjoying.
Uh-huh.
1, he gives me the right food,
Okay.
the way I asked for it. 2, he gave me my money back. So
Okay.
I got a free meal out of it.
Nice.
3, he gave me a card for a free sandwich. All right.
You are making out like a bandit now.
Yes.
They owe you. It's been a long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I look at it.
And again, he assured me I was going to say something to him, and he really apologizes. He's sorry, and he said a couple times on how he just got on the shift. And I said, I get that. I'm not yelling at you, but the people that work for you are idiots. These things are simple. I say them clearly and loudly into the speaker, and they still can't get it right.
And if they can't hear you, it's their job to say, what did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Can you speak up, please? Something.
So
You don't just make it up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he wanted a medium. I'm sure of it.
So like 2 or 3 days later, I go back there
Oh, you went back?
on my way home.
They spit in your sandwich?
No, I just wanted a drink.
Okay.
And then I pull up to the window and I pay for it. And I look over on the side wall, right next to where the door's open.
Mm-hmm.
There's a printed sign there saying, remember, all in capital letters, remember to ask, and remind each other. But basically what it means is they're going to repeat to the customer right before they pay.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try to read back your order, make sure it's right. And then before they give it to you, they're going to double check it.
They should.
Yeah.
Somebody should be quality assurance over there.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
But because of me doing something that my wife would do, that my wife's done before at a couple other places.
Yeah.
It's when Brandy, you have to smack a bitch.
You know what's funny is that you and I have that common thread where it's your wife is the one and my husband is the one. My husband has called up places on fire. He's like, he will just flip out. There are places that he is banned from us going. There are places that we can never go there and eat again, ever. One of them is that Taco Bell you guys had an issue with in Bridgewater.
Wow.
You know why? Because they put tomatoes on his taco.
Oh.
We are never allowed there again. He called up, and Jay is that guy. If he says, I'm never, ever coming here again.
He never will.
He never will. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's done. The relationship has been severed as far as he's concerned.
Weird.
It is. Our spouses are insane.
But it's good to have that.
You know who else is like that? I'm not really like that. I'll just be like, in my head, I'll just be like, all right, well, I'm just never going to come here again, or I can't get this, blah, blah, blah.
In my head, I'm like, you guys are just fucking idiots.
My sister is publicly banned from places. I shouldn't say that. Because she actually does listen to the show. But I'm sorry. Okay. There are places that she's not allowed anymore. I get a laundry list together, but
I wish I could see those moments.
Oh, her meltdown moments, and
yeah.
she I'm 5'7", she's probably 5'5", maybe 5'6". No, 5'5", I'd say. So she's deep. But
I'm 5'6". I'm not that short.
Well, no, but I mean she's
my height. Let's say that.
She's not. I don't think she's your height. I think she's a little bit shorter than you. But I mean she. So when she gets going, and then she gets the finger wagging at you. Oh boy!
Call me maybe.
That's her jam.
Yes. I'll never forget
That's her jam. Good gosh. So that's interesting. Now we've covered.
Yeah.
We've covered McDonald's and places my sister can't go and whatever. Is there anything else you got going on there?
I got a few other things, but they can wait.
They can wait.
So we got a main topic to do. We
do have a main topic. All right. So 20, 24, 25 in. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
The Comic Con.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. Comic Con. From a distance. Actually, no, I should have saved that because there's a moment where it comes in handy. Anyway,
throw it in there.
I'll throw it in again. Okay, you guys. So the four of us we trekked off to the Rhode Island Comic Con Sunday. It was
Sunday.
It was a 3-day event. We went Sunday.
Only one day.
From what I heard, we went on the best day.
Woo!
There was a lot of shit that went down at the Comic Con, and we're gonna cover it. And I'm gonna preface everything we're gonna talk about with the fact that I honestly believe that it was not the fault. Anything that went down was not the fault of any celebrity at all.
No.
I'm gonna put it right there.
Can't be any clearer.
I'm crystal clear on this one.
Clear as glass.
As glass. No fault of any celebrity. But a lot of bad shit went down. So, how about we talk about our experience and then we'll
All right.
we'll delve in.
So I have our experience in order.
Oh, wow, chronological.
Yes.
I love it.
Because it starts off a little funny, too. But
Okay.
it was annoying for me, but it's kind of funny afterwards.
Okay. Well, hang on. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to let people know about.
Right, because you just asked me
so
what do I have here.
Yeah.
You should have something.
Oh, I have a lot, but it was about the bad shit that went down.
Oh, okay.
I have like 8 pages. What I did was I went and I took people's actual complaints, stories that went down. So all this stuff is 100% true, and they're really, really pissed. So and by the way, when I read what people have said, don't fault me on grammar. I did try to clean up their grammar a little bit. I did try because I'm like, I need to fix this a little because when I'm gonna read it, I'm gonna sound like I don't know. But so once again, not the fault of any celebrity.
Nope.
Most of them, except for a couple, were very nice. We'll talk about that in a minute. So, I think that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
That we need to get out right in the front. So all right, well let's get into our day.
Right.
Oh, real quick. I'm sorry to do this to you again. We had toyed with the idea of filming and doing all kinds of shit.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up not doing that. I'm kind of glad we did. I think we would have gotten a lot of trouble with people.
A lot of trouble. That would have been a lot of work.
Yeah, it also would have been a lot of work.
But mainly a lot of trouble.
Yeah, a lot of trouble.
We'll get into that.
Yep, we sure will. So.
Because that's part of our complaints.
Yeah, it sure is. So, okay. I'll shut up now.
So our adventure starts.
It begins.
That we had to park. Our friend Joe drove. Thank you again, Joe. We appreciate it.
He drove.
And we had to park up on the 8th level of the garage. Now, one, it sucks that we couldn't find a spot until we got to the roof.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Just a quick PS. Quick PS. Quick. By late morning, early afternoon, Saturday, the garage had been completely full. It was at full capacity.
Damn.
So it was at full capacity enough at 10. What time did we get there? Like 10?
Let's say around 10:30.
Yeah.
10:15, 10:30.
Somewhere between 10 and 10:30.
In the range.
We were already having to park at the roof because there were no spots in the levels. So
I was at a point I was telling Joe, just make a spot. I was really going to go around the garage and notice.
All right, well,
I didn't see anybody there.
You don't really want to. You don't really want to risk a tow job.
What do they have? Like 2 guys maybe in the whole garage, like on Ferris Bueller.
I don't know.
Speak English? What country do you think this is?
So anyway.
So yeah, we had to park up on the roof on the 8th level.
Yep.
And walk over to the room with the elevators and stairs.
Yep.
That was a little tough for me because I hate heights.
Yes, he does.
So I was kind of having a little struggle, at least halfway from the car to the room with the elevators.
Ooh.
So everybody kind of surrounded me and almost guided me or escorted me, so I felt better.
I knew instantly. We started walking to the elevator, and Sean is actually physically holding onto cars. So I'm like, okay. So I get him on the back, and I'm like, let's go. You okay? Let's go. Just look down. Look down.
No.
Don't look left. Don't look right.
Well, that's the problem. I can look straight, and I can still see down that way.
The periph is working.
My periph is awesome when I don't want it to be. So we made it to the elevator. We go downstairs. We go outside, and the line is twice as long as it was last year when we arrived.
It was pretty long.
And we went into line thinking it's going to be a while, but it actually moved pretty quick. Yes?
Quick interjection.
I'll take a sip of drink.
Take a sip of drink. Okay. A quick interjection on this is that they don't tell you the nature of the line. Now, the line is... All right, there are 2 lines, essentially. You have, like, a quote-unquote VIP line, which is absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
And then you have the general admission line. And I think the only reason that we knew to go that way is because there was a guy, and we literally had to ask him, Like, there was nobody saying, oh, by the way, if you guys are VIP, this is the line.
They should have had signs.
And, we'll get there. So, and there was nobody saying, oh, if you guys are general admission, you go that way. This guy just kind of pointed at us and like, oh, go that way. And I'm just looking at him and I'm like, I don't think I believe you because you look like a vagrant. Like, I don't know. He was just kind of standing there leaning on the fucking fence and he's like, yep, go that way. Like, and I just kind of looked at him and I'm like, all right. And then I'm walking and I'm thinking, all right, if he's wrong, I'm going to walk all the way back there.
Yeah.
And I will kick him in the nuts. Because nobody makes Tara walk extra. I tell you that right now.
Not with that ankle.
Not with my ankle. I have a bad knee and I have a bad ankle. And by the end of the day, they were both very, very angry with me.
You were pissed.
Very angry with me. So, the line sucked.
Line sucked, but it moved quickly. And when we were getting close to the halfway point, that's when I realized, shit, I left my money in the pocket of my jacket because I purposely left my jacket in Joe's car. Because I knew I'd be hot and I didn't want to carry it. So I turn to Joe and say, buddy, I need your help. And me and him went back all the way up to the roof. I stayed at the elevator so I wouldn't have to deal with the height thing. He went to the car, got the money for me. Then we went back downstairs to find out that the same guy that told Tara about where we get in line, he told us that we had to get back in line.
No!
And at that time, I'm texting Tara. I find out where in line they are. And surprisingly, shockingly, they were already inside getting their tickets.
Yeah, we were already inside. Well,
that's how quick the line moved.
Here's where the debate comes in, right? Because Sam and I were left behind, so we made it inside, right? So we're inside, and I'm like, how long, we're doing the debate. How long is it going to take them? Should we bother to get in line for tickets? Like, what should we do? So then I'm texting Sean, like, do you want me to just buy your ticket and you give me the money or whatever? Because it's like, I'm like, I have no idea who you guys are. And,
Ticket.
Yeah, mine's hanging up.
I'm wearing mine because this is the anniversary for me on the show.
There you go. So we're doing like the big debate, and then it was finally like, yeah, we should just get the tickets and just,
I was very happy and thankful that she can get it for me.
Yeah, so we jumped in line.
I didn't think she'd be able to.
Why?
I didn't think you had the money for it.
Well, coaching.
Well, you did, but
yeah.
You did, but you didn't.
Well, I was gonna. Okay, I didn't want to get into this early, but
you don't have to.
Well, no, because all right, Sean. Real quick, I was gonna give Sean money anyway for something that we'll get into later. So the amount of money that I was gonna give him was the price of the ticket. So I said, how about I just get your ticket, we negate any money that I was gonna give to you, and we'll just call it even. And he's like, fine with that.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah. So that's how that went down. That actually was more convenient than what we were gonna do. But now, so the big problem that we're incurring now is that Sam and I are inside with tickets. Sean and Joe are outside with 0 tickets.
Still in line.
And I'm getting texts from Sean like, we're still in line. So I walked over to an employee and I'm like, listen, buddy. I said, my friend had to run to the car to get something. I said, they're still in line. I said, we have their tickets. Can they just come in? And he goes, yeah, just tell them to come in. So that's what he was telling me.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, just tell them to come in. You already got your ticket. And I'm like, okay, that's cool.
At this time, we were at the point where the line kind of zigzags like a maze because they had these metal barricades up.
Right.
To create the Disney World line.
The Disney line!
up and down type of thing. So we
It's
couldn't
a
exactly...
small world after all.
Hey! We couldn't find a way out.
Oh, dear.
And
Okay.
by the time there was a little opening that we could have slipped through, it's like Joe already forgot that I said that you told us that we can go out. And we're kind of iffy, thinking that maybe other people of the Comic Con or security or whatever outside the building that doesn't know what you were talking to and the guy inside.
Okay.
So we were
No.
thinking they were going to stop us and think that we're just trying to cut the line or something.
Now, here's the other problem that was being incurred. I don't want to... All right. Because I have it in my notes, but I'll just tell you guys real quick. A lot of the ways to get places were one way.
Boom!
They blocked a lot of things. They did a lot of things. So, essentially, my next plan, when Sean was like, I don't know if we can get away with it, I was going to go out to the door and I was going to meet him and just hand him a ticket. But the guy at the door near the entrance said, if you go out, you're going to have to walk all the way around the building.
Damn.
And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Thank goodness for texting.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, I'm just going to wait here then because
Wow.
I will die if I have to walk all the way around this building again. I'm going to die. So, we just waited kind of in the front foyer for the guys, and
I bet if this happened like 10 years ago, they'd say, "Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
You can come back in, no problem."
that was among on the in the top 5 complaints that I saw was the disorganization about where you can go and how you can get there.
We'll tell you how to get there.
Yeah, though they sure
We'll tell you
did.
where you can go.
They sure told us where to go, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
So what's next? What happened to us next? It's like I'm reliving it all over again.
All right, number 2 on my in order list
Yeah,
was that we got these cool lanyards. With the
we
ticket.
did. We did. Last year they gave us the lanyard at the
Window.
No, they didn't give us the lanyard at the window. We got it at the what do you call it? The metal detector.
Oh yeah.
And they still had that guy with lanyards, and I was sitting there and I'm like, why does he have lanyards? Because they're just giving them out at the window.
Oh, that's right. They gave us this part.
Yeah, last year.
We had to get the lanyard.
This year she just slid everything through the little hole, the cubby hole at me. It was like, here
Take
you
it.
go.
Take
Yeah, yeah. All I'm gonna say is a smile is free.
Mm-hmm.
You could have just smiled. Here you go. Nope. Boom. Go.
Our friend Joe was excited because it has the Incredible Hulk on the front. It's like one of those hologram cards.
It is. So
And at the same time, he was wearing a Hulk hoodie.
he was.
Matched. He was a happy camper.
It's like it was planned.
Next, here's where the bitching starts.
Oh, here we go. Pat out.
The price for admission. It should not be $40 just to get in the building. That is too much, especially if you're younger. Just to get in.
It's all right. It's $40 at the ticket window. If you buy your ticket online,
Boo!
it's $35. So you're only saving a matter of $5. However, to buy them online and go through Ticketmaster, you will get rogered.
Jay?
No. They will hurt you. They will hurt you. You will cry. You will be curled up in the fetal position because Ticketmaster will take advantage of you because you're drunk on a prom night. They will handle you.
They will slip you a roofie.
They will handle you. You will not feel good about it. They will touch your swimsuit area and you will be unhappy. So it's kind of,
Oh, that was hard to drink.
half and was it? I'm sorry. It's kind of half and half. Either you buy
Like
them
a moon
online.
pie.
Is either you buy them online and save $5, but then the fees will occur like $20,
Online fees and all that shit.
or you buy them at the window and there you go. So, here's the thing. Okay.
Still getting fucked with no Vaseline.
Yeah. And by the way, from what I understand online, the VIP passes that people paid extra for, nothing. Nothing. You got no extra privileges for a VIP pass.
I think the only privilege that they might have is to be in there an hour earlier.
Yeah, if that's even a privilege, and people weren't at their booths anyway to sign. And we'll get there in a minute, won't we?
Yes.
Oh, hang on one second. Hold that thought. Yeah, so it was like The VIP passes were nothing. You got no extra. Even if you got in an hour early, some people weren't at their booth, so.
Well, they weren't. Which is where our adventure starts.
Our adventure keeps going. So, what happened next?
Well, part of that was, first the part was admission price. The next one is the price for autographs.
Oh, which is actually set. I found this out. It is set by the star. The celebrity does set that. The celebrity does set that.
I thought the agent set that.
Well, I mean, they got to okay it. Here's my thing. Wow. Here's my beef with that, and I think several other people, from what I understand online, shared this opinion. I think it should be one flat fee. I think if you pay $30 or $40, that should include motion carried. It should include
a lot.
The photo.
Yes.
I mean, what happens is you're walking up to somebody, their manager, whatever, agent, and saying, like, okay, here's my $40 for so and so, and it's like, okay, well, they're just gonna sign your thing, and it's like, I mean, for $40, I mean, it takes 2 seconds to take a picture. You know what I'm saying? Like,
time it takes for them to sign a photo, it's about that to get 1 or 2 pictures on your cell phone.
Yeah, I mean, you could do like a quick selfie, and I don't know. I just think for like $5 extra or something, they should just throw in the picture thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, because the photo ops, the photo ops that they did apparently were a clusterfuck.
Not bad.
It was a huge clusterfuck, and of course I have the complaints, so I'll read those to you guys after. Nice. But what people went through at this con for this, the photo ops were a clusterfuck. If they printed it all, people were waiting. They gave you a ticket. It was almost like you were at a deli counter. They gave you a ticket like you were waiting for your pressed ham, and then fucking sent you on your way, and then you had to go back to it was your responsibility to go back to the table constantly and check and make sure that they printed out your photo. And then, like, they would just, if you didn't show up or whatever, like, whenever your photo was ready, they just throw it on a table. Like, so that means that, you or I or whatever could go up and paw through all these photos. And like a new glossy, if you get fingerprints on that, the oil from your hands, it'll ruin it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people had that issue with the photo ops and it just being a clusterfuck. And my issue with the fucking photo ops is that, all right, first of all, Rhode Island Comic Con has so much potential. I think it has. I mean, I think it's, from what I understand, it's way better than the Boston Comic Con.
Yes.
So
even Joe said that before.
Yeah, I mean, Rhode Island got better people.
They got better. They got a lot more.
Yeah.
I think this year Boston only had like 10 celebrities.
Yeah, Boston was really, really slacking, and
the only person that was worth meeting at that one, I think, was the dude that played Jim Gordon on Gotham.
Right.
And he was charging $50.
Yeah. Not worth it, bro. But anyway, so
I just learned about you with the show. How are you famous enough to charge $50?
No, I shouldn't say that. I don't know. I assume that the celebrity set the price. I could be way off on that. That was just what I heard.
We could look into it.
Well, whatever. I'm sure that what's his name? Ben McKenzie. I'm sure that Ben's a very nice person. I don't know. I've never met him. So, anyway. But, what the fuck was I talking about? I'm so flustered about...
Photo ops.
Yeah, yeah. Here's the thing. The photo op thing. Like, all right, so Rhode Island... Like I said, Rhode Island has the potential to be really good and, like, in a few years could maybe rival New York. The problem is that they need to move to a different venue. They do it at the Dunkin' Donuts Center and the, the Convention Center, which are two different things. They're kind of next door to each other. Okay, you have a sky bridge that connects them. It's a huge clusterfuck. So everything is scattered out, and they really need to map it out better so that people, can get what they want.
Well, you made another good point. They need a map.
Yes.
That you can print out and have for yourself.
That would be helpful. That would be extremely helpful. That was another big concern or grievance with people is that...
You and some other lady were trying to take pictures of one that was set up on a stand.
Right. And it did absolutely no good because there was no...
no names, no
there was
labels.
no index on the map at all. So it was like, even though I had a map, I didn't know where anybody was. So, and the app is completely useless. That app is shit. Even employees... I had an employee for the con, a volunteer. All these people are volunteers, by the way. They're not getting paid. So yeah, they're volunteers. So even a volunteer told me that it was the app is complete shit. Don't even bother with it.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, well,
whoa,
thanks. So my thing with the photo op thing is that if you're gonna do that, at least have it easily accessible for the person, the celebrity who's going to go do it. Because what had occurred is that there was a line for a celebrity, and then all of a sudden, they signed for an hour, and then they had to run and do a photo op for an hour and a half, and then come back.
It didn't seem like that last year.
And then they had to come back. So you have like an hour, try to get through as much people as you can, run for your photo op. And I mean, the photo op wasn't just next door. It wasn't like they just boop, 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 and then they are. It was like they had to go to the other building for it and then come back. So they were gone like an hour and a half, and then they come back, and it's like, people have schedules, and, they have flights and stuff, so it's like they got to get out of there. And so it's like, all right, well, they only have like another hour to sign. So it eats up into the day. I think the photo op should either be, at the beginning, and then they do their signing, or another day.
Do it all at once, yeah.
Yeah, if they're there like multiple days, maybe like, okay, this is the day that I'm designated for photo ops. That kind of thing.
We learned that with two people. Sean Pertwee, because he was supposed to be back at his booth when I met him.
Yep.
At 2:00, and I didn't get to. He didn't even come to his booth until almost 2:30.
Yeah, I think it was a little after 2:30, but yeah.
And when I went to see William Zabka, he had to leave his booth because he had to rearrange his flight. So I think maybe that's the reason why he had to do that.
Well, because he was hanging out longer?
Probably.
Yeah.
I didn't ask, and they didn't say, so.
Yeah, it's just,
While I was waiting for him, I was having a nice long talk with his agent.
Sean became best friends with William Zabka's agent. It was hilarious.
He was a cool guy.
He seemed very nice. We should have asked him if he was looking for clients.
Maybe he's listening because I was wearing the shirt.
There you go.
I was wearing the hashtag Just Saying shirt, and he asked about it. It says a podcast that we do, and at one point you came over. I said, "Hey, this is my coworker."
My coworker. I'm in it. Woo. Yeah. I mean, that was funny. I mean, like Sean had like a 20-minute conversation with this guy. Mm-hmm. So can you like mention the things that he said? I don't want to put him on blast.
No. One of the things that we were talking about is, like, me and Joe was talking to him at one point about going to these things, and some of these people, they turn out to be jerks.
Oh.
And William's agent was saying that he always has straight talks with his clients when he gets them. Mm-hmm. And he goes through this thing where them doing the signings of the show ain't just make money and sign a picture and just give it to somebody. Mm-hmm. This is your fans' opportunity to meet you, talk to you. It's their opportunity to, like, say what they want to say to you and spend time with you. Mm-hmm. It's not just, hey, we're doing this for money.
Okay.
So he's got morals, like set morals. It's
I
awesome.
think that's a very good attitude to have about the cons, because that's what it's supposed to be.
And he doesn't tolerate anything less than that.
Oh, I would not tolerate anything less. Good for that guy. I don't know his
applaud
name.
him for that. I forget. That was Sunday. This is Friday.
Yep. I don't know his name, but good on you, buddy.
He was a really cool guy, and hopefully since he saw the shirt and I talked about the show a little bit, maybe he had a chance to look us up and maybe listen to us. And if so, thank you. It was great talking to you.
Awesome. Well, he seemed very nice. I don't know. Was William Zabka nice?
Yes.
Cool. I see. That's my thing, dude. Is that I have this big, like, aside from like the social anxiety where I get nervous about, like that kind of interaction.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I also have this thing like, what if they're a dick?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh man, like if I had met
Jake Roberts. We were supposed to bring eggs and throw it at his face.
Oh man, Sean.
I didn't even see him anywhere.
He was maybe he was Saturday only.
Thank God.
Sean had a really bad experience. We've talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
Sean had a very bad experience meeting Jake the Snake, and from what I've heard, that's pretty much on the level. Like he's just
always
a dick.
yeah. The Williams agent told us that he is a jerk like that,
Mm-hmm.
and also another person that's really terrible to meet is Bret Hart.
See, that doesn't surprise me.
He said, "I hope I'm not overstepping anything," but he did say that Bret Hart doesn't like anybody.
That doesn't surprise me because he has that look about him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked at all.
Ever since that screw job in '97 on WWF, which I always thought was scripted, his attitude towards people has really been bad. But that's that. This is us. This is our show. This is the Rhode Island Comic Con.
Yep, that's the Rhode Island Comic Con. Okay.
But Williams' agent is a really cool guy, and it was really great talking to him.
Awesome. That's cool.
He was even nice enough to take my phone and take a picture of me and William.
Oh, see, that's
without
cool.
charging me $40, like everybody else would in the building.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
I got busted.
Yeah.
I got busted with that. It was
You and Sam.
Yeah, well, you know what? I wasn't gonna throw her under the bus, but you just did. So, me and Sam, we were. I was like 2 feet from Sean Pertwee. I was like, oh my god, and I just took a quick picture, and one of the volunteers got really, really ignorant with me. It was like you started yelling at me, like yelling, and I'm like,
I didn't even hear it.
Oh, you didn't hear it?
No.
Oh, good. That makes me feel better, actually. But
so they couldn't be yelling that loud.
She was yelling at me, and then like literally yelled over at one of her coworkers and was like, "You need to come over here and watch them." And I'm like, you know what? What the fuck? I had put my phone away, so I kind of looked at her, and I was like, you know what? I was like, we're all adults here.
We are.
Well,
Something seems like she's not.
For some, in some aspects. So I was like, we're all adults here. You say don't do it, I'm not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't even have my phone in my hand anymore. I was like, I don't need a babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were finishing up anyway, so I was like, and my friend's coming right now. And then you fucking, as soon as I said that, of course, Sean stops dead in his tracks and he's fiddling with all his shit. And I'm like, come on, Sean, hurry up. I just told her you were coming. I need to get out of here before she yells at me again.
I was probably trying to get the picture of one of those.
I'm sure you were, yeah.
Those little sleeves.
But, I don't need to be, like, spoken to like a child. It's like, okay, you say don't do that, I'm not going to do it. It's all right.
Bitch.
Yeah. Essentially, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, now we had a bitch of a time. Sean, when we first got there, you wanted to get, you had a very specific autograph list.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to get,
Robin Lord Taylor.
Yep.
Sean Pertwee.
Yep.
William Zabka.
Yep.
And at the time, I was thinking John Heater.
Okay.
Who played Napoleon Dynamite, but no, that was another $30.
Sean's like, I
wanted to, but I can wait. Maybe he'll be back another time. Which
Perhaps.
is what ended up happening, because after I met the first three, I was heading back towards John's booth, and he was either somewhere else, either doing a photo op or maybe on break.
See?
So I'm like, all right, that's a sign. Let's hold on to the money and let's go.
Yep.
But
now,
our main voyage was trying to find Robin Lord Taylor.
he was like the Where's Waldo of Comic Con. It was the search for Robin Lord Taylor,
Search for more money.
Search for Robin Lord Taylor. We went everywhere. The app, useless. Okay? Map, there's no index. No way to tell you. Now, and here's where I get angry. Not at Robin.
No.
Nice guy, from what I saw.
Really nice guy.
From what I saw from a distance, he seemed like a nice guy. So
he is. It's wicked cool.
So I have some stuff on that, but the con volunteers, everybody told us a different place to go. It was go downstairs at the Dunk Center, do that, go to the basement here, go to the third floor here, blah, 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 blah. It was like we walked all over this fucking place. Nobody knew where he was. There was no signage for him.
No.
We saw Perch. He had a fucking banner. We got a banner. He had a banner like us.
Yes.
And I'm like, Robin needs a banner. What the fuck?
Nope, they didn't have a banner for him.
They had no signage at all.
A large name tag, pretty much.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't there when we made it past that way.
No, someone probably printed that out at the last second.
Last minute? Well, he was there 2 days. So they had his signage already.
They probably misplaced the other one.
So we couldn't find him. We were running around like, where's Waldo?
Mm-hmm.
Where is he? What do we do? Blah, blah, blah.
In the meantime, we're all getting pissed. Her ankle and her knees are getting pissed.
Yeah. But before you even got in line for him, my ankle was already done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is going to be a 3 Advil day. I can feel it.
I think by the time we found him,
Mm-hmm.
we probably walked like a mile and a half just to find him.
Yeah, we put in some miles.
Miles.
Definite miles. But we finally did find him. He was right next to Pertwee, which is where he should have been anyway.
Yes. I would have assumed that anyway. You got two
Yeah.
people from the same show. You put them together.
Yeah, well, there was no signage
Easy
at all.
to find.
No signage at all. So,
And you said something funny, too. When they sent us to the other building,
yeah.
and we looked around there, we didn't see him, so we're getting ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, if anybody needs anything here, this is the time. I'm not coming back in this one.
We were in the Dunk Center, right? Which is, it has a lot of, it has some vendors, not a ton. But in the basement, well, that was where I think Christian Slater was. Alice Cooper was down there.
Yep.
And I was literally like,
the chick that
okay.
plays Wonder Woman.
Oh, I
was
got.
charging $125 for an
I
autograph.
heard a lot of shit about her. We're gonna get there.
Oh, good.
We're gonna get there. Okay, so I basically just looked at the whole crew and I'm like, listen, I'm not walking all the way back here.
Mm-hmm.
So look at all the vendors. See if there's any celebrities that you want to meet. Do it now because I cannot walk all the way back there and then walk all the way back here. I can't do it. I'm on strike. I won't do it.
There's no one there that any of us wanted to see.
No, well, you know what?
I wouldn't mind seeing Alice Cooper.
I was just about to say, if I had extra scratch, I would have gone up to Alice Cooper for my sister.
He was only 40.
My sister loves Alice Cooper.
I like some of his songs. He was in Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare.
Right.
He was in a flashback. He played Freddy's dad.
Ooh, weird.
Yep.
Okay.
He sang the theme song on one of Friday the 13th.
Yes, he did. Jason's Back or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
He's back.
Yeah, right. The man behind the mask.
Yep.
The man behind the mask. That's what it is. I win. So.
A couple weeks ago, I was behind the mask.
Yes, you were. So, but I mean, like, because I'm a casual Alice Cooper fan, I totally could have gone up to Alice Cooper because I had no emotional investment there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's just Alice Cooper. I could probably just go up and be like, hey, what's up, dude? Sign this for my sister. She loves you. She's seen you live like 8 times. So.
She's probably pissed at you now.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I probably shouldn't build that story. I just put myself right in the soup. Me soup.
It's boiling.
Yep. So we walked around, checked out everything, and then walked back to the Civic Center so we could find poor Robin Lloyd Taylor, who they had stashed somewhere.
They were hiding him.
They were hiding him. I don't know. I think they were in the panel at that time.
Probably.
Which,
Maybe he was doing a photo op somewhere.
and
they were trying to figure out where to throw him.
who the fuck knows? I'd have no idea. So, so then you guys got in line. And you were in line for what, like half an hour? Maybe?
About that, yeah.
It was maybe a half an hour.
It moved quickly.
You know what was sad is that I don't think it was one of his assistants, I think it was somebody very official with the Comic Con, had to physically walk up to people and say, can you move up? It was like there was a big gap in line, like in 3 different places, and she had to walk up and go, I need you to move up to the person closest to you. And I looked at her and I said, isn't it sad you have to tell human beings to walk?
Yeah.
And she started laughing. She's like, I said, that's pathetic.
Well, at the same time, we had like 3 different employees or volunteers telling us, move over the line, move over here, stand over there, move this line. Like, we had 3 different people moving us all around, and
yeah,
it's like they weren't communicating with each other.
They were not. There was no communication with the staff at all. Otherwise, we would have found Robin Lord Taylor fast.
Yeah. And while in line, I made a friend with the
Oh my God!
person that was in front of us.
Yeah, you did.
She loves Robin Lord Taylor. She's met him at least 6 to 8 times. She had the weekend pass. She already seen him a few times over the weekend. And when she got up there to go see him, she said hi, gave him a hug, and then while she's doing that, either Robin's agent or the Comic Con guy that's working with him was trying to rush her out because she wasn't getting an autograph.
Right.
I kind of felt bad because even though she'd seen him all these times, and by now her and Robin should be like good friends.
You know what? He's probably thinking stalker. You gotta be careful about that shit.
She's a nice girl.
I'm sure she was, but that's kind of creepy. I find that kind of creepy. Not nearly as creepy as ducking behind a crowd of people when you hear someone say your name. Is that right, Sean?
Yeah, you should know.
Yeah, I should.
Because I'm talking to Robin Lord Taylor, and I'm getting the autograph for her, too. And he said, is Tara here? I said, yeah, she's over here somewhere.
Oh.
I turn and look. You were nowhere to be seen.
Because I heard my name.
I said, oh, she's around here somewhere.
So here's the thing. I'm like...
He laughed.
I just have, like, a social thing. Like, I've said it 100 times. So it's like, I couldn't... Like, when I heard my name...
You turned to goo.
When I heard my name and then heard him say my name... Holy
shit.
Fuck. My blood pressure went up. I was like, beep. I dug right down. Because I said...
Tom Buzzing.
Because I said to myself, if he sees me... He's gonna be polite, I'm sure, and wave hello or something. And then I'm just gonna be like... I don't know what to do. Like, my brain doesn't function like a normal person, and it's not going to send the signal to my hand to wave back because you're not a weirdo. So it's like, I had that going for me. And you know what? They ran right by. We were standing.
Oh, yeah.
There was a barricade separating the line from the outside world. And Sam and I were kind of floating around. And in my periphery, I see something. I look over, and literally Robin Lord Taylor and Sean Pertwee kind of ran right behind us. And I was like,
and you didn't give Sean a goose.
No, he's married. Why would I do that?
You're a fan.
That doesn't mean I can touch him inappropriately.
Well.
Jeez.
He probably would have liked it.
I don't know. I don't know him personally. It
was fun meeting both of them.
Was it?
It was a lot of fun meeting Robin because I walked up to him and he said hi and I shook his hand. I said, hi, Robin, Mr. Mayor. And he started laughing.
Right.
Like I said I was going to, and I wasn't letting that go.
Nice.
Because right now he is the mayor, and I wanted to call him Mr. Mayor.
All right.
There's one thing that surprised me, though.
What's that?
We only saw one person dressed as Penguin.
I know.
Maybe I was shocked.
Maybe we missed them all.
Maybe Friday and Saturday they were there, but we only saw one person. He was just standing there.
And
randomly, like a statue.
And his outfit is like a goth kid's wet dream. Like, I know, the goth kids love that they can just put on the black hair with and just chill. Or whatever goth people do.
They goth.
They just put on the outfit and goth all day.
Yep.
However they do it. You know what? I was reading online and on Twitter, since we're talking about Robin, and everybody who met him said he was very nice.
Yes.
Zero complaints about Robin Lord Taylor, which is awesome to hear. And if I only could have, hello, that would have been great.
Hola, Isabel.
The other thing that I heard, and I know you're not going to be a good judge of this because you're a guy. But
last time I checked, yes.
Good for you. Is that a few people said that he smelled really good.
I didn't smell him.
And I'm like, oh, that I.
The girl in front of me that sees him a lot. She got to hug him, so
she probably smelled him. Yeah.
oh yeah.
This is like the two manly things that I love: guy colognes when guys smell good, and goatees, facial hair. It was like, oh, if he smelled good, I missed an opportunity right there. That would have been nice.
I couldn't tell you.
I know. That's why I said.
Just shook his hand.
That's why I said you're probably not a good judge.
No.
But I heard a few people.
I was close enough. I was standing a foot away from him.
Well, I
just didn't smell anything.
Maybe you had to lean in.
Maybe.
Maybe you should have leaned in and see what happened.
No.
It's okay. So, and I don't know. I don't.
He might think I'm Ed. Enigma.
So yeah, and I was close to Sean Pertwee, but not that close. And you have to tell. I want to make sure we get this story in because I don't want to run out of time. So you have to tell what happened because I even plugged it on Instagram. Mm-hmm. What happened when you met Sean? What his assistant did to you?
Me and Sean. All right. I chose which photo I wanted, and he said, "Do you want it personalized or not?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "All right. What's your name? Put them right out to." I said, "Sean, same spelling as him, S-E-A-N." Then he said, "All right, I got to do this. I want to do a little joke on him, and just give this to him, and don't say anything."
He writes something on a Post-it.
Yep.
Hands it to Sean.
So I go over, I say hi to Sean, I shake his hand, and I said, "How are you? It's an honor to meet you." And he says, "A pleasure to meet you." And he looks at the thing and it says, "Sign this to yourself." We both have the same name with the same spelling.
Dear Sean, big fan of your work. Love, Sean.
00 Alfred.
Yeah, 00 Alfred. Nice. And Robin puts a cute little umbrella on his.
Yeah.
That was cute. I was like, oh.
He signs it, like, if you want personalized, like I did, you just put Sean, cheers, and sign Robin Lord Taylor,
right.
And do a little umbrella.
See, that's cool. Yeah. That's cool. I mean, you can't, you can't write a novel for you.
But when you mentioned about getting...
This day that we met. Da-da-da-da-da. Let me address this sonnet to you.
When you mentioned about getting Sean Pertwee's in the mail, you said sometimes he signs 00 Alfred and sometimes he doesn't.
Yes, he does. Sometimes he does, yes.
He signed 00 Alfred on mine.
I don't remember if he did on mine.
No.
I'm not sure.
He just saw an Alfred on yours.
Oh, see? Maybe I should have gotten... I could not have met him.
Yeah.
Oh, I was already jello just being 3 feet from the poor guy.
Yeah.
And then I get up to him all sweaty.
I so wanted to lean over and say, "My friend thinks your voice is like caramel."
He's got a sexy caramel voice. I don't apologize for my opinion at all. At all.
I didn't know what she'd say if I actually said that to him, so I held back.
It depends, because that could go either way for me. Either he laughs.
I'm sure he would have laughed.
Either he laughs and thinks it's hilarious, or he gets creeped out. I don't need to creep out people. That's why I don't meet them, so I don't creep them out. No, I'm kidding. I
can imagine some of the people they get. That's 10, 20 times worse.
I'm sure.
Oh.
And, I was telling myself, I'm like,
Self?
Yeah, I know. I was like, maybe next year at the con, if they have anybody that I'm a fan of, I won't make poor Sean get in line for me, and I'll actually try. I'll actually try to meet them. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. I can't think about it because it's a year away, so fuck it. Now, I want to... But yeah, before we run low, let me get into the shit that went down.
I figure we could always cut the McDonald's thing and just do that.
Well, we'll see. We got some,
from the audio.
Okay, well, here's the thing, from your audio. Okay, so real quick, we're gonna cover the complaints now. So I gotta.
I say just go through it.
Just go through it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll just do it.
Yep.
And then deal with editing or whatever after. Okay.
Yeah.
So complaints, the staff, the app, both useless. The photo ops, that was also a thing. A big thing was signage. There was zero signage. Signage would have been extremely helpful. So-and-so this way, so-and-so that way. There was really no signage.
Mm-hmm.
That's annoying. Now, apparently, we missed this. Who do you know who this person? I don't want you guys to send me hate mail because I don't know who this guy is. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Do you know who this guy is? Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Is he a Walking Dead guy?
I'd have to see a picture.
I don't know. I think he's a Walking Dead guy.
That just sounds funny.
It does sound funny. Yay! And accidental humor. Okay, so all right, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I think he's a Walking Dead guy. We'll just go with that. If I'm wrong, I'm sure I'll hear about it. So there is a long list of complaints with this signing, not with the guy himself. I want to be very clear that Jeffrey Dean Morgan apparently is nice. The complaints were not with him per se. Okay, I want to be very clear because I'm not trying to slander anybody. But this is the shit that went down for him. Now he was signing Saturday only. Okay, he was a Saturday only guy. Now people in line, the line apparently for him was very, very long.
Walking Dead is so huge. And
people were like, the line was going in front of vendors. The vendors were actually harassing people who were standing in front of their merchandise booth. Which is like, it's not necessarily the people's fault for doing that, because they're in a line. I mean, it's the Comic Con's fault for not routing the line properly.
Can I see his name?
It's just Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
I forgot already.
Okay.
Oh, that's the first one that comes up when you put JEF.
Okay. Was he Walking Dead? We clear that up?
He's on Watchmen.
I don't know from that.
Let's see.
All right. When Sean clears up who Jeffrey Dean Morgan is.
Oh, him. Okay, yeah. He's Negan.
Okay.
He's the main villain right now.
Okay, so he's a main guy. I guess that explains why people were in line so long.
Yeah. He's one of the hugest names there this year.
All right, people got there when the Comic Con opened, got in line for Jeffrey Dean Morgan. They were in line for him all day. That was the only thing they had to do. Some people were in line for 9 hours.
Damn.
To see this guy.
Glad he wasn't on my list.
Well, you would have been fucked.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. What happened was, some people were in line for like 9 hours. He was signing 90 minutes after the Comic Con closed.
Wow.
Because
what a guy.
This poor guy, yeah. Well, I mean, because this poor
That's
guy,
awesome.
This poor guy wanted to make sure everybody got a thing. But here's the thing. Once again, not his fault. His manager wasn't allowing anything to be personalized because of the time. Mm-hmm. So it was just slide it, sign it, slide it. Mm-hmm. So they didn't really get to talk to him. They didn't get that interaction. And the guy was actually walking around to people who had Post-its and like taking the Post-its and ripping them up. Because they're like, you can't get anything personalized. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's 50-50. I mean, he did get to everyone, but they,
I applaud him for that.
Yeah, apparently he had, like, pink eye or something. Wow. Somebody said he had pink eye. I was like, ugh. Like, he was sick, and he still stayed all that time.
That's why we didn't see him there.
What do you mean?
Well, for one thing, you said he ended up being Saturday only, right?
Yeah, he was Saturday only.
I think it was last week or the week before. I think he's supposed to be there all 3 days.
Oh, really?
Either there Saturday and Sunday.
Wow.
I was wondering why we didn't see him.
So here are some of the posts that concern Jeffrey D. Morgan. These are first-hand accounts, okay? Oh, once again,
let me interject you.
Once again, not a fault of Jeffrey D. Morgan. I would just want to be clear. So go ahead.
Another reason why he's such a big name.
Yeah.
From 2006 to 2009, he was on Grey's Anatomy. He was.
That does nothing for me.
It's a big show.
Okay.
He played Denny Duquette. I think that's how you say his name. Mm-hmm. And from 2005 to 2008, he was on a TV show called Supernatural. He was John Winchester.
Okay.
Both shows that Tab and I watch.
Okay. So here we go. Here's some first-hand accounts of the horror. The horror! I personally had a good time. People I was with, not so much. Why? because they waited in the autograph line for JDM for over 9 hours. That was the entire length of the con on Saturday.
Wow.
This person then goes on to say that the admission price should be refunded.
Yes.
Because they never got to got to experience anything. They only got to stand in line for this one person.
Wow.
So here's another post. How worse could it get?
Ask the other person.
I was happy to meet who I wanted, but the entire thing was ridiculous. I felt bad for Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Seriously? People were lined up for autographs from 10:30 a.m. The poor guy had photo ops and panels and the autographs. See?
Wow.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. You try to cram all that shit. I mean, you can't please everybody. You can't get everything done.
Especially if he's going to be there one day.
Yeah. If it were planned well, he and those of us waiting in line could have left the con when it closed at 7, but the box office kept selling tickets for his autograph right up until 7 p.m. There were over 500 people he had to sign for, and he could only sign his name so they could keep moving the line along. He was very gracious and smiling the whole time. He tried to shake hands and tried to hug a few people, but the people with him were telling him to go, go, go.
Those are the assholes. Those are the ones that can't stand.
Yeah, so I mean, he was trying.
I know it's a long line. Give them 1 second, just a quick hug. They'll remember it for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, and then
so now they gotta think back to this now.
Yeah,
just like me and Joe with Jake the Snake Roberts.
So it's like the con
would never forget it.
The con closed, and he said he'd sign all the autographs no matter how long it took. The place was closed, and we were still there. And
I applaud him.
Basically, they should have stopped. Basically, this person's like they should have stopped selling tickets. And it's that's rough. That is rough.
Yes.
So from what I understand, the two people, I mean, aside from that, the two people that people were like kind of complaining about was that Millie girl from Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think she's one of the people that William Zabka's agent represents.
Really?
So he represents some of those people. He said they're the biggest clients that he has.
Okay, well, some people did not have a good interaction with her.
Ooh.
That she seemed very like she didn't really give a shit. And Wonder Woman.
She's too young to be feeling that way.
I know, right?
If I was her age, I'd be in my glory. I'd be excited that people want to come meet me.
Right. And also Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, I think is how you pronounce her name.
Sean Pertwee told me he was very happy to meet her. She's a nice woman.
Well, apparently, a lot of the complaints about her were like her personality.
Douche?
And the line. I'm not trying to say. Maybe, you know what? Maybe these people who were making this account were kind of being stupid to her. Like, I don't know.
Possible.
I don't know. I didn't see it, so I can't really say.
We're just saying what was posted.
Yep.
Just saying.
So, yep. So I'm trying to like, okay. So this is somebody's Facebook post to the con. How are you going to help some of us that feel like we were ignored or overlooked?
They're not.
That we can't say. Here's what I know firsthand. A lot of people were agitated with the Stan Lee quote-unquote event, which was less than an event than being made to wait in line for your pick. Then in line again for your autograph, which took almost 3 hours. But then a good chunk of us had bought our $400 passes. There was supposed to be a lanyard, an exclusive gift that came along with it, and there was not.
I think that was a weekend pass.
Yeah, and I guess a lot of stuff wasn't included.
Oh, that was a waste of money.
Yeah, I'm just like skimming because I don't want to like. A lot of people complained about the Stan Lee event as well. Let me see.
This would be a good time for the Benny Hill theme. While you're skimming through.
Oh, that's funny. It's like, okay, thank you for your, like, some people, not everybody was complaining. Like, some of them are like, oh, this was cool, and blah, blah, blah.
I think at the moment we're more interested in the complaints.
Yeah. Okay, here's one guy. This was kind of funny. I wasn't going to comment, but just in case, This helps. My fiance and I went to Rhode Island Comic Con 2 years ago, and it was an absolute disaster, but I decided to give them a second chance. I will pause real quick. The people who ran the con last year are not the same people who did it this year.
Obviously.
It's a different company.
It seems smoother and better last year than this year.
Yeah. So it's like, listen to this, dude. Oh, you'll die. I hope
not. I want to do more shows.
We spent $800. That's right, $800.
Wow.
And drove 9 hours for a meet and greet with Stan Lee. We didn't get the special lanyard, the special gift. We stood in line for hours, only to stand next to him for a 3-second photo, and was ushered back in line for another hour plus to have our merchandise flung up on a table to be signed, and not even get to shake his hand or say 2 words to him. And this is just, and it's like, oh, it's pretty sad when your information desk has no information, stuff like that. So here's another person about the Stan Lee thing.
It really sucks to drive 9 hours just to get that.
Yeah, a lot of people were pissed off at the Stan Lee thing, which is no fault of Stan Lee, I'm sure. I feel ripped off about the Stan Lee package. It was nothing special or unique. We paid extra. We didn't get what we promised. That's a major fucking thing with
issue.
People. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As for congestion, my anxiety triggered so badly into a panic attack. I feel you. I feel you exactly. I know what that's like. Because you oversold the event and people kept slamming into me while everyone just tried walking through, and the people didn't care because they were trying to get somewhere too. Also, you seriously need to inform your volunteers about things.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. About things, and have a coat check next year like you did last year. They had a coat check last year.
Mm-hmm.
You could have left your coat in the thing and you would have had your wallet. Also, please stop shifting celebs around. It makes them hard to find throughout the convention weekend. I waited. I had to wait 30 days for my Anthony Mackie refund because he canceled. So they had to refund all the photo ops. My pro photo op was just thrown and scattered onto a table. I had a hard time finding it. That needs serious overhaul. Also, should just let a couple people go up and shake hands. This person is basically saying, like, if you just wanted to meet somebody and not get an autograph or anything, you should be able to do that. But, like, then what do you pay? Do you not pay? Like,
half price.
Exactly.
We're like $10 fee.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah. That was funny. This person's account is really funny. There was an actor from Luke Cage was there this weekend. His name is Theo Rossi or Rossi.
Mm-hmm. He was on Sons of Anarchy.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, he plays this.
I know somebody.
You do. He played. I think they call him Shades in Luke Cage. So this is a response to the person prior about meet and greets.
On Sons of Anarchy, he had a tattoo on his head, and his head was shaven.
Yeah, his head shaved on Luke Cage, too. So this person was responding to the person that I just read. So it says, I will say, I think it depends on the guest and the line. I've had plenty of pro photo ops at cons and have been ushered through super fast. I had ones with Chris Evans and Chris Helmsworth in Philly, and we barely had a second, and even the stars were rushed. But I took my op with, when I took my op with Theo Rossi this weekend, I was nervous and my hands were shaking a little. I completely understand. I understand.
I felt that way once.
E.G. Daily, we know. The lady taking my ticket was playful, and she was saying she wasn't going to take it until I stopped shaking, and then made a comment to Theo about it. That's my worst nightmare. He then waved me over and gave me a long hug and kept asking if I was okay. Once he seemed satisfied with my answer that I was indeed okay, he told me to move up, where to stand, and then told the photog to take the pic. I saw him greet every person and say hi to them that were in front of me. It seemed like he was the one making sure that he took the time to do that before the photo op. Anyway, my point is, I think it depends on the celebrity.
A lot of these celebrities are freaking cool.
Some of them are, yes. I heard Brett Dalton was really, really cool to meet. He was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Mm-hmm. From what I understand, he was really nice. Who else was really nice?
That was awesome with Theo.
Yeah.
I applaud him too. Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo.
So it was funny. Well, I'm gonna close on that.
I don't want to
Saying
close.
that. I know, but it's so late, you guys. So there was a panel with Robin Lord Taylor and Sean Pertwee. That I swear to God, if there's one next year, I'm going, because apparently it was really, really cool. And I'm like, I'll go, and then you guys.
Probably happening while we were looking for Robin.
Yeah, I know. And then you guys can go and look at vendors and shit, and I'll fucking sit there and bask in their glory.
I would like to hear the panel.
I know. So.
Is it free?
I don't know. I think it might have cost something.
Of course.
I don't know. Nothing's fucking free, you know.
No, especially
so.
You got a place where you have to pay $4 for a soda.
So this actually created a big deal, that someone had asked him what he thought about the Penguin being gay, and then they recorded it, so it's made its rounds on the internet and stuff, so you can actually look up his comment. But I'll tell you what he said. So Taylor said he wanted to address people who say, I have no problem with him being gay or anything. I have a problem with you guys changing or altering the canon. I have to say that's a bunch of horse shit. He continues, because you can't say to me, if you also don't have the same amount of consternation about Batman 89, where the Joker killed Batman's parents, because that is a total departure from canon characters.
Michael Keaton!
I know Michael Keaton! We finally got into Michael Keaton. It's been a while.
His Batmobile was there.
Yes, it was. It was awesome.
The statue of him as Batman.
So he continues to say, I'm not even sure Penguin is actually gay, but he might have just been so desperate for attention and have attached feelings to the first person who was actually nice to him. I truly believe that had it been Barbara or Tabitha or Butch, regardless if they were male or female, he would have had that same obsession.
Somebody killed Barbara.
Why is that bitch still alive? So that's what he had to say, and it got a big round of applause. People lost their shit about it. They thought it was really cool.
Kill Barbara and Bruce together in the same room.
Oh my God. You know what's funny? I thought of you today because the guy who plays Butch, Drew Powell, I think his name is, he and Pertwee are on their way to a con. And he took a selfie, and Pertwee's right behind him like, hey! And underneath it says, Drew says, I'm happy to have this big-headed Brit behind me. He's like, but he keeps talking about Master B. So yeah, that was our Comic-Con experience. This was our Comic-Con show, our 50th episode.
My 1-year anniversary here.
Sean's 1-year anniversary. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We went a little longer than usual, but that's okay. Because it's the big 5-0.
And it's a special one.
It's special. Every episode is special, Sean. Every episode. So, we hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll tune in next time. You can find us on... Shit, where can you find us? You can find us on iTunes. Where do you find us? It's like, where's Robin Lord Taylor? If you find Robin Lord Taylor, you'll find us. So...
We're on iTunes.
That actually made me laugh really hard. I don't know why. Okay, we're on iTunes. We are on SoundCloud. We are on Stitcher. And wherever quality podcasts can be heard.
And you can find us on YouTube if you're not watching.
Oh, you can watch the video version on YouTube if you like.
And our location shoots.
Yep. We're pretty easy to find there.
We got 6 of them up, right? 6
location
or 7.
shoots?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. So
oh, wait, no. I think we have 10.
You can find us on Instagram. You search out the word hashtag, Just Saying Podcast. We're on Twitter, Just Saying Pod. Facebook, same thing. Hashtag Just Saying Podcast. Now that I got all the plugs out of the way, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Left lane.
Right lane.
Okay. Once again, thank you guys so much for helping us make to 50.
Thank you.
Sean's going to tell you something. He's going to tell you that special something, and I'm going to go away.
A special something I came up with for the show.
Yes, you did.
We want everybody out there. Have a good everything.
Yay!
1 year.